All right, folks, when it comes to speaking engagements, concerts, or pretty much any event where your speaker, singer, or performer is going to be moving around, wireless microphones are an absolute must. And the folks over at Phenyx Pro have sent over their PTU-5200-4H. And these are the microphones we're going to be checking out today. So if that sounds like what you came to see, hit the like button, subscribe, and click the bell so you don't miss. As we cover all things tech, I'm Chris Grant Jr. It's the Granny Geek Show. All right, so first things first, shout out to Phenyx Pro for sending these over. We're going to run them through their paces, durability, functionality, and of course, the most important, how do they actually sound? We're also going to test things like range. It's going to be a great video, so grab a snack. Here I have just a bare bones unit, and then they send you some accessories where you can get it all dollied up, looking all professional. Now, first up, let's talk about the unboxing experience. Now, they pretty much give you everything you're gonna need, and that comes with 4 microphone units. They're basically identical, and so it's good that they include these roll stoppers here, which obviously are primarily meant to stop the microphone from rolling off of a desk or a table when you place it there, but they come in 4 distinct colors. That's gonna help you distinguish between the microphones. You're gonna get 2 antennae right here, and those go into the back of your receiver box, and we're gonna talk about this a little bit later. You get a power cable for that, of course. You get your manuals. You even get a pop filter, 4 of them for each microphone, and that's going to help with plosives. Of course, with these kind of microphones, you're going to get your metal mesh pop filter to help with sibilance, and then there's even a little bit of foam in there to help with plosives as well. Now, while we have this open, we can get a good look at the cardioid capsule, and that's going to help with ambient noise rejection. So any kind of sound coming from the sides or just in the room in general is going to get rejected for the most part, and it's going to focus primarily on whoever is talking directly in front of the microphone. So that's really great. I can't wait to test that out. Now, next up, let's talk about design and durability. Wireless microphones in general are known for being abused. They get dropped, they get thrown around at concerts, they get thrown into bags and cases and things like that. And so you're going to need a build that's going to stand the test of time. And so first off, I got to give Phenyx a shout out for making the right choice in giving this a full metal body here. There's no plastic where it counts. You got metal on the cap, full metal jacket here. Of course, you got plastic on the bottom. That's for your antenna so that it can actually transmit and receive signals. You've got metal here, and so that's going to be great for durability. Obviously, there's only a certain amount of durability you're going to get within the first few weeks of ownership, as I have these in the studio, but over time, if anything crazy changes, I'll be sure to make an update post. All right, so that's the microphones themselves, but another important piece of this is the receiver box. Now, of course, that's not going to be taking nearly as much abuse as the microphones, but Phenyx Pro still thought it would be important to give it a metal housing, so you just got a little bit of plastic up at the front for knobs and things like that, but still very solid. Now, the 5200 is rack mountable via the 2 included ears, and installation is as easy as it could be. You've got 2 screws for each side, screw those in, and you're ready to go with your rack mount system. Or of course, you could put it on a tabletop. And of course, a desk or tabletop is going to be the best place to put it in order for you to get that clear line of sight and up to 200 feet of range, as Phenyx Pro advertises with this unit. So really good quality for the price in terms of build in both the receiver box and all 4 microphones, and they still throw in a good amount of accessories as well. But from there, I want to talk about actual functionality. How do you turn this thing on? How do you get it connected? Well, let's start with the microphone itself. So there's a single button on this unit, and it's the power button, but it is a multi-function button, meaning that depending on how and when and how long you press it, it'll do different things. So first, we're gonna long press on the power button, and that's gonna turn it on. You're gonna see the setting it's on, A25. Now, this has 25 different tunable frequency groups between the ranges of 500 and 590. So that's gonna allow you to use multiple systems without any kind of interference, which is absolutely chef's kiss. Typically at venues, you're dealing with a lot of different frequencies, and that's just from the equipment being used, not to mention multiple different devices, smartphones, and things like that will be in the venue at the time of the performance. Now let's go ahead and get this connected. You can use either antenna, they're both identical, but it does matter which port you screw it into. This microphone was on setting A, so we're gonna wanna plug it into or screw it into the A receiving port. So we'll just go ahead and press that on. I kept saying screw, but you just press it on. It has a locking mechanism, so it's snug once you press it on. And let's go ahead and turn on the receiver unit. We can do that by pressing and holding the power button. You'll see it light up, and we have the microphone that will turn on, again by holding and pressing, and these should automatically start to talk to each other via the receiver and the transmitter, and we can say boom, we're right there. Check that out. I haven't done anything. You didn't see me click any buttons. You didn't see me pair anything. And we're already getting an audio level, an audio signal. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna give you a sample of the audio quality you can expect coming through this system. It's a metal housing, so there's not any real flex in the body. So you're not gonna get a lot of handling noise from that, which is obviously really great and something you'll want in a professional setup. But I am sending this signal out to the Zoom H6 Essential, which is a 32-bit float recorder. So let's go ahead and get that set up, and you tell me what you think it sounds like. Now this is a single ring connector here, so we're gonna put it into the mix out. What you are hearing now is audio coming directly from the Phenyx Pro PTU-5200-4H. I'm holding it, probably you should hold it at about this distance, about 6 inches from the mouth, so we can get a good idea of the signal that's coming in. Maybe I can turn it up a little bit more. Let's see how much static you get at maybe 100%. Maybe this is starting to sound noisy. Maybe it's not. I don't know, as I'm doing this in real time. But of course, I'm going to talk about it once I listen to it. We'll turn this back down to about 50, about halfway. And let's see if we get really close, what kind of signals we're getting. Now, again, this is in 32-bit float, and it's as important because I want us to be able to hear how the audio holds or even potentially breaks down at higher volume levels and even lower volume levels. And so having the 32-bit float flexibility there is super key for testing out this equipment. We're going to check some noise rejection now. So I'm going to move the mic this way, and we're going to see just how well it's rejecting the sound coming in from the side as well as the ambient sound of the room. And we're just going to go ahead and move it back to center here, probably about 6 inches, and then we're going to go ahead and move it to the other side as well. And then I'm going to point the microphone to you. And so we're going to see the opposite and how it is rejecting noise coming from. So this gives you the purest idea of the sound quality coming out of this microphone, not being tainted by any speakers in the room that might misrepresent the quality. Of course, we're going to do a test where we do see the microphone in a live venue coming through PA speakers and things like that. So that's important as well. But I just wanted to get a nice clear sample of how the audio sounds on these microphones. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to turn on another one. We're going to see how quickly it connects. Then we're going to mute this one, and we're going to test this one just to see if there's any discrepancy between these models. They're exactly the same, and so we're going to see how their QC is, how their quality control is. If this mic sounds fantastic or horrible, and the other one sounds the opposite, well, that's not very good. This is another microphone in the same set that was sent in the same box, so we can get an idea of the quality control between the two units. Now, yes, I do have this other microphone muted, so let me know in the comments below. How's the consistency in terms of the cardioid capsule here? Is it rejecting sound coming from other sides? Is it accepting the audio pure coming from straight in front? And then how's it dealing with rejection from behind? So of course this process repeats with all four microphones much the same way. Now that we have both antennas plugged in, all the microphones will pair as soon as you turn them on. They start talking, and of course if there's any issue with interference with other devices or equipment you have in the room or in the venue, you can just change the frequencies on these microphones and they will find each other again, just like a long lost love soulmates. Now we're going to go ahead and do an actual range test. We're going to get these microphones out in the field, quite literally, and see just how far they can maintain a signal. We're going to test the range of these microphones. I'm going to slowly walk backwards. Check, 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 1, 1, 1, check, check. Phenyx Pro PTU-5200-4H. The range on this is supposed to be about 200 feet. So I will soon expect the signal to cut out. I'm going to turn away from it again. I can still hear that we're getting a signal, and I'm very, very far away. I'm going to be interested to see how much better the 7000 does versus the 5200. So like and subscribe to be there when that video drops. Here we are at the edge. So it passes the test here. Passes the test. Oop. Check, check. I'm going to obscure with my body. Oop. Okay, so when I cover the antenna with my hand, we do actually lose our signal.
Here we go, covering now. Cup with my hands at that range and turning away. Seem to block the signal.
So it may have been hard to tell in the video there, but in my testing, basically the microphone was able to sustain well over 200 feet, even getting to 230, 235 before I started noticing any issues at all. And even at 250 feet, which was literally as far as I could go, I was still getting a signal. It was just not as consistent. The signal would drop out, especially when I turned around, or would hold the bottom of the microphone covering the antenna. But still a really strong signal. You don't have to worry at all being anywhere in the range of 200 feet. With these, you're going to be coming through loud and clear. So I gotta say, I've actually been really impressed with this unit from Phenyx Pro. The PTU-5200-4H is a solid microphone set that punches above its price point. You get easy connection. You get, again, those 25 different tunable frequency groups between 500 and 590. That's going to get rid of any kind of interference concerns that you have. Pairing is super easy as well. Everything is pretty lightweight but sturdy and durable in terms of the build quality, so you can have confidence going to professional setups and things like that without worrying about your equipment breaking. But what I am curious about, okay, is Phenyx Pro. Yes, they went ahead and sent over their PTU-5200-4H, which costs a little bit more, but offers some other features that are really cool. So we're going to be testing and comparing this microphone with that microphone, as well as doing a full review on that set as well. So if you want to be here for that, you know what you got to do. Hit the like button, subscribe, and click the bell. Again, I got to shout out Phenyx Pro for sending both of these units over. Thanks everybody for watching, and of course, keep it locked here as we cover all things tech. I'm Chris Grant Jr. It's the Granite Geek Show.